All right, so y'all, Porsha is having a baby. Let's go ahead and dive into this 3-part special right now. Get into this video.
Well, he's a cutie pie. I might put him in Potomac. Okay, yes. Yeah, he can come right on to Potomac.
What's up, y'all? It's your boy Richie Scott. We're back with another video, and right now we're going to be reviewing Porsha's Having a Baby on Bravo Television. It is coming on in the place of Real Housewives of Atlanta now that the season has come to a conclusion. And since we love to talk all things Bravo here, all things pop culture reality television, we got to dive into it just to see if you guys think that it's actually worth having. Is it worth watching? Is it worth seeing and tuning in week after week? We're going to get into that right now. But first, if this is your first time tuning into this channel, make sure that you hit the subscribe button down below, hit that notification button, because you just don't know when we're going to be coming out with brand new content, and we do so on a day-to-day basis here. I like to do clips in bite-sized portions so that you guys can easily digest them and move on to the next topic if you so choose to. I really encourage you guys to comment down below because that's what this channel is all about: fan commentary, fan theory, and everything new and interesting that's popping up in social media about whatever we want to talk about here. If you guys haven't followed me on Instagram and Twitter, please do so. It's at DJ Richie Sky. And with that being said, let's go ahead and dive into this video. All right, so Porsha is preggers at this point. She's what? Near the end of the pregnancy at this point in the show. And first of all, let me go ahead and say this. I love Porsha. She is just a joy to watch. Can we go ahead and talk about I want to talk first about the confessionals that she has here. I don't know if you guys remember Mariah's television show that she had, her reality show, but when she did her reality TV show, she was on the couch, you know, kind of like this. So it was kind of fun to see Porsha, you know, kind of sit in a similar fashion to, you know, the Mariah, the Queen Diva. You know what I'm saying? I thought that was kind of dope. What else? I really liked the fact that we got to see her and Dennis together, and then Lauren as well. I thought those were pretty dope. I liked how they did that. I like how they really got into those confessionals, and she really played those up. You know what I'm saying? Porsha is very good at playing to the camera. She has the TV personality down pat. I feel like she finally knows who she is, and she's really able to be that sort of comedic character that you really want and need on a reality show to make it entertaining. You know what I'm saying? And she's also dramatic, as we can see her. Before we even get into the drama, I really want to know something. Girl, why is this basement not finished? Now, I realize that you had said that Dennis was supposed to be finishing the basement, right? But you want him to finish the basement for you, and he not nowhere on the name of the property. You know what I'm saying? He don't have no ownership in this, but he's supposed to be fixing this place up, and y'all supposed to be moving at some point. Regardless, girl, if this man has moved in with you, you can't give him a closet in one of these guest bedrooms. You can't. That house is so big. You mean to tell me you cannot put his clothes in one of them guest rooms? The fact that you guys have hung up racks, clothes racks in this unfinished basement, you could have put those same racks in a spare room, because you mean to tell me you got all this property and you giving him the basement to put his clothes in. Now, regardless of what you think about his clothing style, the fact that you would even, like, to me, it was not understandable. I didn't get it. Listen, the fact that we're seeing this unfinished basement is just one thing that I'm just kind of like, why do I feel like I'm not supposed to be down here? But at the end of the day, what I like about it is that it's unfinished and she didn't care. You know what I'm saying? If we could juxtapose this with NeNe and her closet or her bathroom, which was apparently unfinished when Brielle had filmed the roaches crawling around or whatever bugs it was crawling around. Juxtapose that with us seeing this unfinished basement. I thought that was actually kind of dope. At first I was like, why am I seeing this unfinished basement? Girl, you could do better than this. And why is this man's clothes down here? But then I thought about it and I was like, but damn, like that's real though. Do you know how many houses out there that are like magnificent up top, but got unfinished basements? Everybody don't finish their basement. Sometimes it just doesn't happen. So that was real interesting to me. I think that it was cool to see her let us behind the curtain a bit with that. But I still feel like, girl, do better. Get that man a closet, a real closet. Make him a nice, have one of these closet companies like the Closet Factory. Build a closet in one of the rooms. You got the money for it. If you can afford to hire a night nurse, and y'all know I had to go look up what a night nurse was. I could tell from my context clues what it was. But for those who are unfamiliar, I'm going to put it right here so you can see it too, because I had to go look this up. And a night nurse, it costs a pretty penny. So if you can afford all of this, you can afford to build this man a closet in one of them rooms. That's all I got to say. And just for those of y'all who are looking, night nurses make pretty decent income. Just in case you are looking for a job out there, it is something that is untraditional, but you do at least get to sleep when you are the night nurse. I guess you just sleep beside the baby so the mama don't have to wake up in case she got to go to work or something like that. I really don't know, but what I'm saying is this: if you can afford a night nurse, girl, you can afford a closet to be built in one of these rooms in this lavish house. Moving right along. Second thing is, I feel like she needs to go on ahead and make this move with this man. Now, here's the thing. I feel like I don't know if her house is paid for or not, but from my understanding of real estate, and it's a limited knowledge, y'all. I'm going to be very honest with y'all. It's limited knowledge, but it seems like if he has not sold his current place and he's using it as rental property, I get that she was burned the first time. So as I was watching this scene, it didn't make sense until she said that she had her own place and then Cordell had his own place and then they moved in, and then she found out later that he kept his place and didn't sell his, and she sold hers, and then she had no place to go after I get it now. Because I didn't get it at first. But at the end of the day, listen, here's this. Maybe she don't need to sell her home. Maybe she could rent it out. Maybe she could let Lauren live in the house. Move mama into the house. Or, you know what I'm saying? Or rent the house out. Because if he's renting his place, then she could be renting her place and then making an additional income off that rental property. If it's a situation where it's a good renter's market or something like that. You know what I'm saying? I'm not really into that whole situation, into real estate yet, but it seems like it could be something that could work for her to her benefit should she decide to move into this baller pad that Dennis has just made an offer for. Can we get into that real quick? So my thought is this, and I want to know what y'all think too, but did this man really just put an offer on a house that we the couple have not made a decision on? If I was Porsha, I would definitely feel some type of way about that, because I'd be like, you put in an offer on a house that I have not given you the okay on. We have not sat down and really decided that this is what we want to do. Like, you can't surprise a person like that unless she just not gonna pay for anything on the house at all. Even then, she's not gonna want to do that because she's gonna want to be a co-owner or a name on the house as well on the deed. So it's like, yo, you can't do that. It's got to be a mutual decision. So I felt like he was in the wrong for that. I like that he thought that, but at the end of the day, I feel like you gotta talk to your spouse before you put any type of stuff like that into play. Do y'all agree with me on that, or how do y'all feel about it? If your spouse, if you're not married or whatever, but just let's pretend like you are. If your spouse came in and said, babe, I put an offer down on this on this mansion right here because I can afford to. Number one, that's that. Number one, he can at least afford it. But if he said, "Bae, I done put an offer in on this mansion," what? Surprise! What do you do? What do you say in that instance? Now, if you don't really have a lot of money of your own, that might be a good thing for you because you might be like, okay, well, babe, let me just move on in. Or would you be like, wait, did you really do that? So I want to know what y'all think. Obviously, let me know down in the comments because I want to know. And finally, let's get into this baby shower, okay? I was here for this whole situation. I thought that the white was perfect. I thought it was very interesting that NeNe was not there for this. I think we talked about this when we talked about the reunion or whatever. She was apparently someplace else. She posted the screenshots of her tickets to wherever else she was, but lo and behold, she wasn't there. And honestly, the event seemed to be very nice. You know what I'm saying? I love the fact that we got to see Monique from Real Housewives of Potomac. I thought that was a good little drop, you know, in for everybody to remind them that Real Housewives of Potomac is coming back on May 5th. And we were going to be talking about that on this channel as well. But I thought that was dope. You know what I'm saying? The other thing is I thought it was dope seeing Kenya there because I felt like this was kind of like I feel like Bravo is good with this. They're like kind of like getting us reacclimated to certain people, and I like that. So I like seeing them there. What I don't want to see no more of is no more of Dennis's awkward jokes because I don't know why he is trying to be a comedian because he don't have the timing. He is not funny in that regard. He might be funny in person on like in a dialogue, in a response type situation, but he not funny in terms of telling jokes. You know what I'm saying? Because most times I feel like in order to be a funny person, you have got to just be able to just talk and just react to stuff. So it's got to seem natural. And if it doesn't seem natural, it's like, what are you doing? Like, why are we having this awkward moment? And nobody is laughing. And why is this even your moment? Because it's the baby shower. This ain't the bachelor. This is not the bachelor event. This is not that. This is not your moment, man. Stay on to the side. And you talking about how all she doing is peeing and pissing and stuff like that. I was like, I'm not here for it. Stop right now. Stop the press. Get him off the stage. Can it? Now, the other thing I would like to say is I would like to see more of Gary with T on this show and actually on Real Housewives of Atlanta in general because I just feel like he adds another little bit of comic relief and comic element to the whole situation. And I really kind of like that. So in general, let me tell y'all my thoughts on this whole show. I think that this is perfect. This is a perfect introduction to Porsha having her own show at some point. I could definitely see her doing a tardy for the parties type situation, similar to Kim Zolciak, because I feel like, unlike Kim Zolciak, I feel like Porsha is actually funny. This is my thought. Porsha is actually hilarious. I would like to see more of her sister Lauren, but I still want to see Porsha on Housewives as well. So I don't know how they're going to work this out. Hopefully they'll go from this to giving her a wedding special at some point next year so we can all see that. Or I'm sure they're going to work it in on the show in some way, shape, or form of Real Housewives of Atlanta. But anyway, so I give this show, I would give this show like an 8.5 out of 10. I'm giving it an 8.5, mostly because I just didn't like Dennis's jokes. But otherwise, I love the show. Let me know what y'all think down in the comments. Will y'all be watching each of the next 2 weeks that the show was actually on? Do you like this? Do you want to see more of Porsha in the spinoff or not? Was it kind of like negative that NeNe didn't show up for this? Do y'all think she just really didn't want to support Porsha, or do you think that she had a legitimate reason for not being there? Like the rest of the ladies in the cast, I wasn't shocked that Kandi wasn't there. I think that was totally appropriate given where they might have been and where they're headed. Regardless, let me know what y'all think. Comment down below. Subscribe to the channel if you haven't already done so. We come at you guys with videos daily. And yeah, I'll see you guys in the next video.